Don't.
Niet
Listen to me.
politia. Niet politia. Guys, niet politia. Not a cop. This man is not a cop.
It's been a few years since the first Red Notice hit Netflix, and fans have been waiting to hear what's next. Even though the streaming giant hasn't confirmed much about a sequel, little bits of news have popped up here and there since the movie's big debut. For anyone who doesn't remember, Red Notice was a slick action comedy with Ryan Reynolds, Gal Gadot, and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson leading the charge. The story followed FBI agent John Hartley, who unexpectedly partnered with a notorious art thief named Nolan Booth to stop an even bigger thief, Sarah Black, also known as the Bishop, from stealing a set of priceless jeweled eggs. It was part heist flick, part buddy comedy, and part globe-trotting adventure. The film dropped on Netflix back in November 2021, and while critics didn't exactly love it, it pulled in just 37% on Rotten Tomatoes. The audience turnout told a completely different story. People streamed it for over 453 million hours, making it one of the most watched Netflix titles ever. The movie had everything a modern blockbuster needs: a star-studded cast, huge budget, glossy action sequences, and enough twists to keep viewers hooked. Gadot, Reynolds, and Johnson are all franchise veterans, so even before Red Notice premiered, there was already chatter about a sequel. But as exciting as that sounded, news about Red Notice 2 has been surprisingly slow. The biggest update in a while came in June 2023, thanks to Gal Gadot. During a Netflix fan event called Toodum, she revealed that not only was Red Notice 2 still happening, but she'd actually read the script. She couldn't spill too much, but she teased that the story was exciting and that everyone involved was really looking forward to it. That little tidbit gave fans some hope, especially since official news had been scarce for months. Her words suggested that behind the scenes, things were moving forward, even if Netflix wasn't ready to announce anything publicly. But here's the thing. Despite Gadot's comments, Netflix hasn't officially confirmed the sequel. That's where the uncertainty comes in. Right after the original movie premiered, Johnson himself hinted there'd be more adventures ahead. Then, in October 2022, producers Beau Flynn and Hiram Garcia shared that they were not only developing Red Notice 2, but also working on ideas for Red Notice 3. Their plan was ambitious. They wanted to film both movies back-to-back if the scripts and schedules lined up. The enthusiasm was there, and Netflix seemed eager, but no timeline was set in stone. And when no timeline is set, that usually means delays are more likely than not. Complicating matters further, rumors started swirling in May 2024 about tensions between Johnson and Reynolds during the filming of the first movie. Allegedly, the two had clashed on set because of Johnson's late arrivals. Reports claimed he sometimes showed up hours behind schedule, which frustrated Reynolds and caused a rift between the two. If true, that feud could explain why Red Notice 2 has taken so long to materialize. While they've reportedly made amends since then, friction between two of the leads doesn't exactly make scheduling a sequel easy. Hollywood is built on chemistry, both on-screen and off, so if there's tension between the stars, the project naturally slows down. Casting-wise, Gal Gadot seems like the surest bet to return since she's been the most vocal about the sequel. Her character Sarah Black was essential to the first film, so her comeback feels inevitable. As for Reynolds and Johnson, their return hinges on whether they're willing to keep working together despite past issues. Most fans agree that without them, the sequel just wouldn't be the same. Another face we'll likely see again is Ritu Arya, who played Inspector Urvashi Das. Given how her storyline was left dangling in the first movie, it would make sense to bring her back for more cat-and-mouse chases. If you think back to how Red Notice ended, it's clear why a sequel was always on the table. The final scenes wrapped up on a big cliffhanger. Booth managed to get some payback by freezing Hartley and Black's bank accounts after they left him stranded. He then made them an offer: help him pull off another heist, and he'd return their money. Meanwhile, Inspector Das issued an international red notice on all three of them, making them wanted criminals. That setup practically begged for a sequel, because it positioned the trio not as enemies, but as uneasy partners forced to work together. It's the kind of open-ended finale that screams franchise potential. Still, Even with a script reportedly finished, the production status remains murky. No filming dates have been confirmed, and considering Johnson's other projects, things are even more complicated. His upcoming films, like Jumanji 3, Jungle Cruise 2, and a Fast and Furious spin-off, all seem to be stuck in limbo too. Add in the less than flattering reports about his on-set behavior, and you start to see why things aren't moving as quickly as fans expected. The feud story between Johnson and Reynolds added more fuel to the speculation fire. According to reports, Johnson's habit of showing up late caused major delays during filming, just like on the set of his other project, Red One. Reynolds eventually snapped after one particularly late arrival and confronted him. For a while, the two apparently weren't on speaking terms, which could easily explain why Red Notice 2 didn't go straight into production. When the core of your movie depends on the chemistry of two leads, it's tough to make progress if those actors aren't even talking. Although they've supposedly patched things up, the damage may have already slowed down Netflix's plans. It's worth noting that Johnson is juggling a mountain of projects, from sequels like San Andreas 2 to reboots like Big Trouble in Little China, plus his role in future Fast and Furious installments, and even a live-action Moana remake. He has a packed slate. Normally, he's been able to handle multiple big films in a single year, but lately, production delays and behind-the-scenes drama seem to be catching up with him. His shift toward more dramatic projects, like the A24 film directed by Benny Safdie, also suggests he might be rethinking his blockbuster-heavy career path. Meanwhile, Ryan Reynolds is just as busy. He's involved in a bunch of other creative ventures. With both stars stretched thin, Red Notice 2 has had to compete with higher priority projects, making the wait even longer. On the other hand, Gal Gadot's career has been soaring, especially with Netflix. Her 2023 film, Heart of Stone, proved to be a massive hit on the platform. Even though critics didn't like it much, it scored a dismal 30% on Rotten Tomatoes. Audiences flocked to it, racking up over 228 million hours viewed. That kind of performance placed it right behind another Netflix smash, Leave the World Behind. The success of Heart of Stone showed that Gadot's star power is a major draw, even when reviews are negative. For Netflix, that's a clear sign that she's someone worth investing in. Heart of Stone's numbers only strengthen the case for Red Notice 2. Gadot is now firmly positioned as one of Netflix's biggest stars, and since Red Notice is still the platform's most watched original movie ever, it makes sense that Netflix would want to double down. Even though critics weren't kind to either film, the audience interest is undeniable. And at the end of the day, streaming platforms care most about viewership. Financially, Gadot has also been a big win for Netflix. She reportedly earned over $20 million for Red Notice, while Heart of Stone paid her around $5 million. Considering the numbers she brings in, it's almost guaranteed she'll command an even higher payday for a Red Notice sequel. Netflix has shown it's willing to spend big on her, and the returns seem to justify it. So why is Red Notice 2 still taking so long if everything points towards success? Part of the answer lies in Hollywood's larger problems. The industry-wide strikes in 2023 by writers and actors caused delays across nearly every production, and Red Notice 2 wasn't immune. Combine that with personal conflicts, packed schedules, and shifting career priorities, and it becomes clearer why we're still waiting. Still, Netflix hasn't abandoned the idea. Reports say the company still wants not just one, but 2 sequels. That suggests confidence that eventually things will fall into place. At this point, fans are left in a weird spot. On one hand, the cliffhanger ending, the completed script, and Gadot's comments all suggest Red Notice 2 is coming. On the other hand, the lack of official announcements, the rumors about cast feuds, and the crowded schedules of the stars raise plenty of doubts. The best-case scenario is that once the timing works out and relationships are fully smoothed over, filming can begin. And given Netflix's track record of betting on proven hits, it's hard to imagine they'd let their biggest movie fade away without at least one more installment.